In this video, 5 science facts that prove the law of attraction exists and that you can use it to attract what you want into your life. This is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com, and let's dive right into it. Number 1, the power of positive thinking has support in many medical journals. And there was a group of Korean researchers that at the Yonsei Medical Institute that was published in the Korean Medical Journal said that there was a strong correlation between positive thinking and the people that were happiest in life. And it's like, okay, no duh, obviously, and the way that it works is very simple. The way that it works is that there is a actual science behind the way that you think and the way that you feel. So every time you have a thought, you fire brain cells. And there's a term in neuroscience called Hebb's law, which simply states that brain cells that fire together wire together. Your brain hardwires when you think the same way over time. So when you habitually think negatively about your life, about yourself, about your future, or on the contrast, you think positively, either way, the habitual thought patterns wire your actual nerve cells in your brain. Now, every time you're activating nerve cells, you're stimulating an electrical current in your brain. That electrical current in your brain is moving through your nervous system, emotion, energy and motion. Your emotion, your energy and motion is moving through your nervous system, and it's creating how you feel physiologically. There is so much science to this today. There is the strongest correlation between how you think and how you feel. When you think positively, when you feel excited, great things happen. And on the contrast, negative thinking, just basic common sense. When you sit and you think about bad things, you do not feel good. Because there's a term in psychology called anticipatory anxiety. And they say that about 75% of people with clinical anxiety suffer from anticipatory anxiety, which quite simply means that people suffer from anxiety on a clinical level, on a very deep level, of anticipatory anxiety, anxiety of things that has not happened or might not happen. So that goes to show you, you don't need an actual experience to control how you feel. You could have a fake experience in your head that may never happen that could make you feel awful about yourself, pessimistic about your future. So why not just brainwash yourself before the world does and fill your mind with positivity, with success, with abundance? That's why I always talk about, I hypnotize myself. I've done it for 6 years, and it's down below. You can use it, jakeshypnosis.com. It's free. I hypnotize myself for success and abundance. People say, well, that doesn't work. Yes, it does. It's basic science, and it's proven in medical journals all over the world today that how you feel and think is in direct correlation. Number 2, scientists of neurology know that visualization creates a better future, and it actually stimulates the brain in new ways. So we've always heard about visualization, and a lot of people think that it's airy-fairy and da-da-da-da-da, even though NASA uses visualization in order to train their astronauts about going into space. And even though the Neurological Institute of London has actually proven that the people that they would study that would use visualization, when they would check back in with them years to come, had created better futures than the people without it. And they've done a lot of studies on these types of things, and it actually stimulates the brain. It's not idle daydreaming. There was a study where they took 2 groups of people that were playing the piano, and what they did is they only allowed one of them to actually play, and then for an hour a day, and then the other people got to imagine for an hour a day that they were playing the piano. And then what they do is they were doing brain imaging scans, so they were monitoring their brain to see what would happen in their brain, whether they were actually playing the piano or not. And what they found was that the same parts of the motor cortexes of the brain were being stimulated when they were looking at the brain imaging scans. Whether they were actually playing or not, the brain was responding the same way. And I'm not, somebody might say, well, that means if you just imagine yourself bench pressing, you're gonna gain 40 pounds of muscle. I don't think it's necessarily, you could take it that extreme, but it's showing that your brain doesn't know the difference between real experiences and non-real experiences to the extent that we think so. And if your brain hardwires, if Hebb's law, like I spoke about, every time you have a thought, you activate brain cells, and Hebb's law says that brain cells that fire together wire together. Habitual thought patterns hardwire your brain, and the way your brain is wired produces the circumstances and results of your life. Then you could actually, through visualization, you can actually retrain and rewire your brain. Now, we know for a fact this exists in neuroscience today. It's called neuroplasticity, and it's the ability to literally change the hardwiring of the brain. So you can actually, and this is what my channel is all about, you can wire your brain the way that you want. That's why I do the hypnosis. That's why I do hypnotic writing. That's why I use vision boards. It's not because I believe in daydreaming. It's because I understand the science behind, if I can hijack and wire my brain the way that we want, I can get what I want. And you can do the same thing. So don't think that you're crazy. Don't think that you're wild. Is that when you sit, and you can use my free success hypnosis down below, and you plug that in and you close your eyes and you start imagining, and you get emotionally involved in the idea of you earning the money you want, or attracting your soulmate, or building your dream business, and you do that regularly without opening your eyes. And then when you get back into the world saying, is this working? Does any of this work? Because immediately when you do that, you're giving more evidence to the outer world than your ability to recreate the outer world the way that you want from your inner world. And when you do this day after day after day after day, and you check out some of the other videos that I have on different exercises and tools you can use, hypnotic writing is another one. I'll write for 5-6 pages with some nice headphones on, and I'll write in the present tense of the things that I want to manifest. Why? Because my brain responds the same way, whether it's happened or not, and I'm training my brain to accept that reality. Science is now proving this. Number 3, psychologists support the use of affirmations. The University of Exeter has done many studies just to see the overall emotional well-being of people that repeat positive phrases over and over and over again, and there's quite measurable effects. Now, it makes perfect sense. We talked about every time you have a thought, you activate brain cells, they wire together, and they send the way that your neural circuitry in your brain is hardwired creates electrical impulses that send through your nervous system. It's called your emotions, your energy in motion. It controls your physiology. Obviously, it's going to control how you feel. When I say, think of this amazing future you're excited about, you're like, yeah. And I say, your whole life's gonna be ruined and you're gonna be screwed. What does it do? You're like, oh, dang, that sucks. Yeah, obviously, it makes sense. So that's why I recommend that you take a 3x5 index card, 3x5 card, write your main affirmation on it. Mine says, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm inspiring millions of people worldwide as an internationally influential thought leader. I've used that for 5-6 years. I got one framed next to my bed. I carry them with me in my pocket everywhere that I go. I put them on the treadmill and the Stairmaster at the gym. When I stretch, because I'm always suggesting it to myself. Why? Because affirmations literally create your reality. Number 4, mirror neurons prove the spread of energy or good vibes. Have you ever wondered before why, when you're sitting with somebody, you guys kind of get in the same energy? Or gals, or you mirror the same body language? Why is that? Well, they've actually discovered that there is part of your brain, and you have something called mirror neurons, and they're neurons in your brain that literally mirror the outside stimuli and the outside electrical impulses, the vibration, the electrical output, the electrical activity of other people's brains nearby. And that makes sense as to why when your parents maybe said money is the root of all evil, or they got divorced and they said love is pain, why a lot of us would accept those ideas and have trouble financially or have trouble with love, because our mirror neurons respond to the outside stimuli and our brain gets trained in ways that are not most conducive. Well, that's why people always say you are the reflection of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Why? Because literally we have mirror neurons that affect. So make sure you're with positive people. Make sure that you're with stimulated people that are inspiring and encouraging you. You have study partners that you're watching these videos with, that you're reading with, because your brain gets wired based off of the people that you spend the most time with, and the way your brain's wired controls your life. Number 5, scientists who study genes are starting to show that a lot of limiting beliefs are inherited. And that's something we talk about a lot on this channel. You have a subconscious mind. 95% of your life is controlled by your subconscious mind. And psychologists say that that is controlled and programmed by our outside environment unless we take control of it. So think about all the things that we're told from our parents, from our friends, from our culture. All of those things affect us. And all of these things are having a profound impact on how we're wired. And the coolest thing is that we can actually take control of that. There's a term now, it's called epigenetics, and epigenetics is quite simply stating that we can actually rewire and reprogram our genes. We can take control of our life. And so many people think that they're subject to the way that they grew up financially is how they're gonna do, the way that whoever raised them grew up around love is how they're gonna do, however they grew up around health, they're subject to the same problems. It's not true. And what this channel is all about is, I believe that we're having a revolution in this world. And this revolution is taking place to change our world. Now, to me, the quote-unquote battlefield is the internet, and the weapon is our mind. That's how we're going to change our world. And so this channel and my why behind that is I want to show you, I want to prove to you that your limits are truly only self-imposed. My limits are truly only self-imposed. And when we understand this, we can actually rewire our genes, our brain, our nervous system, our bank account, our love life, our happiness, our emotional state. We control that. And we've been told our whole life that we don't. And whenever people come along and they say, hey, law of attraction, hey, power of the mind, they say, oh, that's not scientifically proven. It is. There's so much studies. Go out there, question everything, do your own research, go out and look into all the studies into the brain and the brain imaging experiments that they're doing to see the effect that thought has on brain. You control your bank account, you control your love life, you control your success and happiness in your life. Be sure that you download my free success hypnosis down below to train your brain to attract abundance, prosperity, and success into your life. jakeshypnosis.com down below. Press the subscribe button in the corner over there. Make sure that you hit the bell notification so you get notified for a new video, because just because you subscribe doesn't mean YouTube will actually notify you. So press the subscribe and bell notification. Download my success hypnosis. I'm coming from Maui, hence my Hawaiian shirt. I got a new one. So comment where in the world you're coming from. I'll see you on the next video, and thank you for watching.